So, uh, next session will be hosted on March. We have spring 24.
We just set it back to English.
That are stories added. We're going to improve. We will have the same capacity as
Or you can just say don't check it.
the
Everybody gonna go on mute or just stay like this, Robert?
There we go. I muted everybody. I just figured out how to do that. Normally it mutes everybody when they join. And then you guys are, if you want to speak, you're welcome to unmute and ask a question. There will be a question and answer session at the end though. So I would recommend, unless it's very pressing, to wait until the Q&A session about 90 minutes into the meeting. I'd like you all to, well, first of all, we're going to get started as people still filter in here. But again, thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. You know, AI is changing the world. It's changing it rapidly. And let's see, go. Hold on a second here. Let's close that. Open up the chat back up. Wow. Where'd my chat go? There it goes. Yeah, AI is changing the world, both as a business owner or as an employee. You've got to be both simultaneously excited and scared. I know I am. Marketing is what I do, and we help, you know, all kinds of different clients, from big companies like HBO and Sony to small carpet cleaning companies and so forth. And marketing is one of the top 20 businesses that is going to be replaced or largely replaced by AI. So, you know, a lot of you out there, you know, depending on what you do, your job could be, you know, replaced or partially replaced. So it's a good idea to learn AI and get ahead of the curve so that you can be a part of it instead of displaced by it. If you're a business owner or you work for a small business, if your competitors are implementing AI and you're not, they're going to get ahead of you, and they're going to get ahead of you fast. So by learning AI and how it can help your business, you can prevent competitors from getting ahead of you, and you can be one of those businesses that get ahead of your competitors. So again, thanks for joining. I'm going to jump in here and do a screen share, but first I want to introduce you to my guy, Chris. He's going to be moderating the chat. Chris, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, thank you. Chris just moved into a new place, and so he's still getting everything situated with his computer. So everything seems to be good. But if you have any questions about anything, feel free to mention in the chat, and Chris is going to do the best job he can answering those. He'll share helpful links and so on and so forth. Make me aware of anything I might need to know about. So anyway, that's Chris. I'm going to start my screen sharing now. Okay. Let's see here. Oops. Wrong screen. There we go. Okay, let's share. Sorry, guys, 1 second here. A little technical difficulty with this. I don't use Zoom, by the way. I use Zoom for these classes, but for day-to-day meetings, I use Google Meet, by the way. And just a hot tip for you guys, Zoom costs money. We pay over $100 a month for Zoom to do these. Google Meet, though, is free. And I greatly prefer it. It's much less convoluted, more user-friendly, more reliable. The audio and video quality is better. Just everything about Google Meet is better, in my opinion. With that, just introduce myself here. See if I can find my notes. There we go. All right. Everybody see my screen okay? Chris, everything good on your end?
Looking good over here.
Okay, great. Okay, my name's Robert, and I'm an entrepreneur. I started my first business, a computer repair business, in 2001. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I had to learn how to grow my business, and so I had to start learning marketing. I'd already been a fan of marketing, and so it was a natural fit for me. And once I was able to grow my business enough, I had at one point 18 employees and 12 phone lines and 7 websites and so on and so forth. I had a store. I had two retail stores at the same time, and it just got crazy. So when AI came out and we started implementing it a couple of years ago for our businesses, it's been a really exciting time. It's helped us save a lot of time, deliver better results for our customers, and it's a game changer. And hopefully today, I know all of you are beginners or close to beginners, and hopefully you're going to get some big takeaways from this class. But I just want you to know that since 2001, I've served over 10,000 clients, and it's been quite a journey, and it's been a lot of fun, actually. And I hope that you guys are as interested in AI and having some fun and making some money, because that's really what it's all about. Did you know, by the way, there's a tool, an AI tool, that will allow you to create 1,000 blog articles at one time? It's insane. This is just one of many tools, and there's currently right now an AI tools explosion. They can be measured in the small, maybe just a few 500 in some counts, a few thousand by others. But if you look at the App Store or the Google Play Store, there are millions of apps. So this kind of gets you close to the idea of where we are with these AI apps. They're really exciting, and some of the things they can do are nothing short of breathtaking and amazing. So, but real quick, just kind of have to tell you what I do. Our agency, Brobex Marketing, I'm not going to sell you anything, but just so you're aware of where my background is. We do custom AI solutions, one-on-one consulting, SEO, CRO, web page landing design. And I speak at conferences. I've spoken at several different conferences to, in some cases, over 1,000 people on the topic of conversion rate optimization. And if you don't know what that is, that's the psychology of getting people to buy from you. So, for example, if you have 100 people that come to your website and only one person buys, that's a 1% conversion rate. Not too good, but believe it or not, that's just about average. And that's kind of sad. And the reason for that is too complicated to get into in this class. But there are 2 things you need to do to succeed online: get found and convert the people that find you. And where a lot of businesses fail is the conversion part. They build websites that are not catering to their customers. They're building websites that are company websites instead of customer websites. And that's why people don't buy from them for the large part. Good companies are doing, 5-10% conversions and making a lot more money. So, okay, what you're going to learn today. So this course is designed to provide a foundational understanding for beginners. The content that I'm going to share today are actual real tactics and tools my team and I use every day to help our clients grow. So these are not just, some random things. I created this to be, I am both an employee and a business owner. And so when I'm, and same thing, with my team, we're always using these new tools, and we're trying new AI tools. And in fact, since I made this class, we have learned about a lot of new AI tools that I haven't even had time to add to this class yet. So it's, but for those of you seeking a deeper dive, I encourage you to join our intermediate class. You can find it on Eventbrite, and we'll share the link with you later in the class. Even still, no matter who you are, I'm certain you'll find a lot of value in this class. If something seems too basic for you in the beginning, I promise you, just hang tight. I'll be moving quickly and sharing some truly remarkable AI tools and techniques that might just blow your mind. And even though I consider everything I'm showing today to be basic, many of you will feel challenged. and maybe a bit overwhelmed at the rapid pace that AI is changing the business landscape. I've been into technology since I was 8 years old. I actually wrote a nonfiction book on electronics when I was 11. So that's nearly 50 years in the technology industry, and nothing has come close to blowing my mind more than what I'm seeing with AI today. So what's even more amazing is that AI is just the beginning. The tactics and tools I'm going to share today, as remarkable as they are nothing compared to what's on the horizon in a year, 3 years, and 5 years. So today I'm going to start with AI basics and practical applications, and I'll share a foundational knowledge of AI tools like GPT, Gemini, and Claude, and teach you how to apply them in real-world AI tasks such as content creation, SEO, reputation management, image creation, and a lot more. So I'll get into prompt engineering mastery. So a lot of what people consider AI are these chatbots like ChatGPT. To get really good output from these, you need to be a prompt engineer, right? And I'll show you how to craft effective prompts to get the best results from AI. Then we're going to get into AI-powered tools, right? Which are going to save you a lot more time than sitting there in ChatGPT and saying, hey, write me a blog article about this or that or whatever, right? There's tools that'll do that and way more. For example, like I mentioned, creating 1,000 blog articles at once. That same tool can do a lot more than that. In fact, it can help you write one article that will rank on the first page of Google, right? Other tools will help you create professional headshots, produce video testimonials, realistic, like crazy realistic testimonial videos, or sales videos like for YouTube or TikTok, Pinterest ads, and so forth. And then at the end of the class, I'm going to get into some AI solutions for business growth, for more intermediate and advanced stuff. That includes things like custom AI libraries, experts, apps, and workflows. Okay, so and then we're going to have a Q&A at the end where you guys can answer your questions. And I'm going to give you the opportunity later too, if you are a business owner or you're somebody that works for a small business that needs help with the website, to paste your website into chat. Don't do it yet. And then if we have time, I can do a screen share and kind of look at the website with you and show you how you can improve it, how AI can help you improve it, right? Okay, so this isn't your typical boring textbook style class. So I created this course as a real world example of how AI tools are used. Every tactic and tool you'll see today has been battle tested and proven to work. So I'm not just trying to sell you tools or anything like that. Like, these are really awesome tools that help me every single day, help me and my team of 10 every single day. In many cases, I've spent hundreds of hours, on using a particular tactic and comparing 10 or more different tools to find the tool to show you during the class today. For example, this slide deck. The last time I made a slide deck a couple years ago when I presented at an SEO conference, I was using Google Slides, and it took me 75 hours. This slide deck took me about 2 days. So about from 75 hours to about 16 hours, let's say. So it didn't make the slide deck for me. I still had to make it, but it was like having the most incredible, brilliant assistant possible. Now, this slide deck is made by Gamma, by the way, and I'm going to show. There's no need to get crazy. I'll be sharing the links to all this stuff later. This is it's going to be part of the class resources. So on my website, there will be a helpful resource page with everything you need related to the class. You don't need to bookmark anything right now. At the end of the class, I'll provide you with all the resource information, including links to the tools, a replay of this class, especially helpful for people who maybe missed part of it or missed all of it, the transcript, and some bonus tools and special resources not covered during this session. What this course is not. So I'm not going to get into AI history or technical foundations or ethics, because that won't offer much immediate value. Instead, I'm going to focus on actionable strategies to quickly improve your business and job performance. Of course, issues like privacy are incredibly important, and I urge you to use AI and ask it questions related to any topic not covered today. So why is AI crucial for business? So it's essential for profitability, competitiveness, and survival. In today's market, AI isn't just beneficial, it's essential for survival. Your business or job may be rendered obsolete and completely eliminated or partially replaced by AI. Indeed, you'd be right to be terrified of losing your job to AI. So it's great that you're all here learning about this, because the people that are going to be replaced are the people that don't educate themselves and stay on top of things. And believe me, it's changing fast. So don't, if this is your first class, don't make it your last. Keep diving in. There's a lot going on with AI, way more than I cover in this class. For example, I had a while back, I had a graphic designer make a logo for my son's YouTube channel, right? It was like for his birthday. And he made this amazing logo, and it took him hours to make this logo. And then my son just yesterday is like, Dad, check out my new logo for my YouTube channel. And he showed it to me, and I was stunned. It was better. In fact, significantly better than the logo. I should have shown you a picture of this. But it's significantly better than the one my graphic designer made. And he pushed a button, and it took him a few seconds to make it. So if you're a graphic designer out there, I mean, when AI can create a logo better than you can in seconds for free, you have a very good reason to be concerned. So even a child can do what took someone spent their entire life learning how to do. So the cost of AI hesitation means that you're missing out on precise customer insights and operational efficiencies that competitors are already capitalizing on. It's extremely important to understand AI is not like the internet. The internet came and disrupted the world's business landscape gradually over the course of 25 or 30 years. But that's not what's happening with AI. AI is changing the way businesses operate and consumers purchase. It's already like, I barely ever use Google now for information. I use it like if I'm looking for a business or a service or something like the product or something like that. But if I have a question, screw Google. Why would I go there? It's just a bunch of ads, and it's hard to find everything. And then you got to scroll through and pick and click on things. AI will give you the answer, and it's usually right almost instantly, right? Even more important to realize, the internet disrupted businesses and jobs. So like, for example, it might have taken jobs away from taxi cab drivers, but they were replaced by Lyft and Uber drivers. That's not what's happening with AI. AI is coming in and just completely eliminating the need for certain professions and certain tasks. So it's really, really important that you get a hold on, where you are, what you do, how you make your money, so that you can adapt. That's going to be the number one skill that any of you are going to use, is the ability to learn quickly and adapt and use AI so that you're not replaced by it. Bookkeepers, telemarketers, customer service representatives, data entry clerks, paralegals, radiologists, retail cashiers, financial analysts, truck drivers, they're all most likely to be completely replaced by AI, leaving few, if any, new jobs for the humans that previously did them. Administrative assistants, copywriters, insurance underwriters, mortgage loan processors, social media managers, factory assembly line workers, stock traders, so on and so forth. All of those job positions are highly likely to no longer exist in 10 years, maybe even 5, maybe even 3. In all likelihood, it's going to happen very quickly. If it seems like I'm trying to scare you, I'm not. But if you're scared by predictions I've made, you should be. I'm concerned myself, right? This class represents one of the ways that I'm branching out and becoming a part of the AI wave, gaining a deeper understanding of AI through the eyes of others, and broadening my skill set in order to better adapt to the coming changes in the worldwide marketplace. Okay, so here's an example, a real world example. And by the way, guys, there's I'm going to, once a little bit later in the class, I'm going to show you a real world example of how we took a business and used AI to increase sales from 1.6 million a year to 4.3 million a year. It's an amazing story, and it's real. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of the basics of how I did that. But big companies are already implementing this. The problem is small companies are a little asleep at the wheel. They don't think, like local plumbers and so on and so forth, don't think that, oh, AI can really help. Oh, chatbot or this or that. But no, it's way beyond that. You've got to really pay attention to understand how AI can help you make more money, whether you're an employee or a business owner. So what AAA did is they used AI to tailor content and analyze customer engagement. and adjust its marketing campaigns in real time. So instead of having one marketing campaign, they had a bunch of marketing campaigns that were constantly shifting and adjusting with AI, analyzing things and catering and customizing that marketing to those different types of people. So instead of like one approach to all kinds of people, every different type of person was getting a different type of messaging, right? And so what happened is they tripled membership signups, which, I mean, a 300% increase in signups or 200% increase, that's insane, right? Another example is a pizza place here, a chain in California called Pizza My Heart. You can text a number and chat and completely place an order on just with chat, and it will, like, literally you can say, oh yeah, I'm looking for something sweet and savory, and it will send you a picture of like Hawaiian pizza with pepperoni or whatever. Like, it's like they're doing all these really cool things with AI order taking, and it'll take your money, it'll do everything, and you don't ever have to talk to a human. And this is a company called Wise, right? So one of the most exciting things about AI are sales bots. So we've all probably interacted at this point with a chat bot, but a chat bot, they're kind of dumb, really. If you a lot of times they can't answer your question, and you feel it's frustrating. I get frustrated with them, and you probably do too. They can't answer your questions. You have a particular case, and you waste all this time. They're like, oh, we'll have someone get back to you. Well, that's not the case with sales bots, right? Sales bots can do everything a chat bot can do with customer support, but they can also sell you on something. So they can, like say, okay, did that answer your question? Would you like to place the order now? Here, just click here. They make it really easy to do business. Hey, would you want us to schedule a service call to your house right now? We'll give you, 10% off, like just like a human would. Like if you walked into a furniture showroom and, you're looking around and you're kind of, there for 10 minutes and the guy comes up, salesperson comes up and starts wheeling and dealing with you. Hey, we'll give you a free this or that, if you buy now, or whatever. Sales bots can do that, right? And the crazy thing is they're programmed with emotional intelligence. So they can tell like if somebody's irritated or frustrated or whatever, and they can use specific language to calm them down, make them feel important and understood. Amazing stuff, right? So imagine you're a new employee, or maybe you're a business owner that hired a new employee, right? You could, your new employee or team member might not know anything about your business or job. Now, in the past, getting that new employee, getting you up to speed in that job could take a very long time. But instead of weeks of hands-on training, the new team member could be trained by AI. The way you could do this is literally by uploading all your essential company information into a custom AI library, right? So instead of, like, if you go to ChatGPT or one of these other chatbots, they're not going to know everything about your business. But if you had a custom library where you went in and you worked with a consultant, that's one of the things we do, of course, is you work with a consultant and you updated everything, like your company policies and job descriptions, responsibilities, any training manuals or onboarding materials, your customer scripts, compliance and legal requirements, case studies, frequently asked questions, everything on the website, customer reviews, anything, cybersecurity, IT training, sales and negotiation, software, employee feedback and survey data. Once you've uploaded all that to the custom library, you could tell AI, okay, create a training program. And the training program will make a complete training program in perfect order with step-by-step instructions, interactive quizzes, explainer videos, everything. The AI can do all of that. So you have this insane training system for new employees that even Fortune 500 companies wouldn't have. That's one of the amazing things about AI. That's one of the real world examples. Or what about AI powered video testimonials and sales videos, right? Maybe you need, a lot of businesses could really benefit from testimonials, but they're hard, right? To get a customer, hey, can you make us a testimonial video? That's a lot to ask of a customer, right? And then if they do it, who knows what the video quality is going to be, and what they're going to say, if it's good enough, and if it's optimized for search and all these things. Well, now you can create hyper realistic video testimonials for $10. And these videos are not robotic and faked. In fact, some of them are so convincing, it's almost impossible to tell they aren't real. We know about like we've seen these deep fakes and how amazing they are. Well, imagine using these for your business, right? And you might say, oh, well, that's unethical, but it's no different really than, an actor, a famous movie star or musician, like, selling, doing an ad for a product they probably don't even use. So it's kind of the same thing, but now you have that capability as a business owner or, as an employee who's trying to help the business that you're working at to create and there's other ways to do it. Like these videos can be sales videos that you can put on TikTok and so forth, right? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to show you that. So this is Gamma. I told you this is the pitch deck revolution. And I tested about, I don't know, 10 of these and they were all junk. But then when I ran into Gamma, I couldn't believe it. Like you can say things like, make this slide about AI and its top 3 benefits, and it will make a slide and a picture to go with it in just a few seconds. And if you don't like the picture, you can tell it to do it over, or you can upload your own picture, you can change the text. But the important thing is, like, it gives you a starting point for your slide, and you can use them for pitch decks and a lot of other things as well. So before we get any further into some of these amazing apps, we need to talk about the most important apps of all, the AI chatbots. Okay. Okay, so the major AI chatbots are, well, first of all, you need ChatGPT if you're going to follow along and try some of the things that we're doing today. The ChatGPT was the first chatbot that came out, and it really shook the world and set a record for being the first app to have 100 million users, and they did that in 2 months. Instagram took 2.5 years to reach 100 million users. So that's how powerful this is, and how rapidly things are changing. The others, Gemini, made by Google, Claude, DeepSeek, and Perplexity, are all very similar in design and usage. I prefer ChatGPT, but I float around. If I don't get what I want from GPT, I'll pop over to Gemini or Claude or one of the others to see what they have to say. So I'm going to show you here now. I'm going to get in here and show you. So this is ChatGPT. I'm sure some of you have used it. I have the paid version, which is $20 a month. And it's a really cool program. Can you guys still see my screen? Yeah, okay. Let's see here. All right. So what we're looking at here is, one second. So when you pay for it, as opposed to the free version is really amazing too. But the paid version gives you a lot more what are called models, and these all do different things. Some of them are faster, some are slower, some are more detailed, and so forth. But generally speed, right? They're going to be faster. Also, you can upload things. When you have the free version, you're unable to upload anything, and that's one of the things that I do the most is upload documents, upload pictures, and so on and so forth. And I'll show you a little bit more later why that's helpful. If we go over here to this one is Gemini. I'm just going to go ahead and open all of these here. DeepSeek and Perplexity. So this is Gemini. This one's made by Google. I don't use this that much, but a lot of people, the thing about these chatbots is they jostle for position, meaning, every few weeks, it seems like, and sometimes faster, they're creating some new innovation. I have never seen innovation at this pace. And so, it would benefit all of you to try all of these, the free versions, before you pay for anything, and if you decide to do that. There's Claude. What I've heard is Claude, this new one, 3.5 is the best one going. 3.5 Haiku, again, or Sonnet, sorry. This is the Pro. So I used to use this one exclusively, but I jumped over to GPT, and there's reasons for that. It's not just because of the interface or the output. DeepSeek is the new Chinese chatbot, and I've played with it a little bit. It seems to hallucinate a lot. More on hallucination a little bit later. And then finally, Perplexity. What I love about Perplexity is, like who won the 2000 election. What I love about Perplexity is it will do a lot more than the others as far as citing the sources. One of the things I'm going to get into a little bit later, the hallucinations just briefly touch on, is you can get wrong answers. Like the AI will just tell you complete BS. And so you have to be careful of that if you're, especially if, you know, what you're presenting to your boss or to your customers is you're going to reflect on your reputation. This gives you the sources, right? So like each one of these is an actual source that it's relying on to give you this information. So anyway, but again, you know, I'm going to be using the GPT for this one. And so we're going to, when we're talking about chatbots, I'm only going to be using GPT for this class. So free versus paid, right? The free chatbots, no cost to start, right? They do basic problem solving. They're really good for you know, when you're first testing the waters. Examples of that are GPT 3.5 or Gemini Basic, right? The paid AI chatbots have more advanced capabilities, as I mentioned, more sophisticated responses, faster responses, and examples are GPT Plus and Claude Pro, right? So right here, for example, I actually just, and this has been one of the hardest things for me over the past few years, is learning that, you know, I don't have to do this anymore. I can just ask AI to do it, right? Finding ways to make AI useful in your workflow, whether you're a business owner, an employee, or you're just using it, you know, to create grocery lists or story time for your kids or whatever. It's useful for so many things. And it seems like every day I'm like going, oh, duh, I can have AI do this, right? So I asked, you know, AI, explain chatbot models as quickly and simply as possible. And this is what it came up with. Okay. All right, so compare chatbots. So here's my best advice about these chatbots is test them all, right? In fact, like, for example, this one here, write a 50-word product description. This would be like, say, for if you have a Shopify store, if you have a bunch of products you need descriptions for, write a 50-word product description for a waterproof outdoor chair made of wood, right? And it goes through and creates that for you. And then I said the exact same thing here, and the output was totally different. So that's the interesting thing is, you know, play around with these. Say the same thing to all the different chatbots and see how they differ. They are, in a lot of cases, strikingly different. In some cases, they're not very different at all. So you can't just assume that once you fall in love with one particular chatbot, that you're going to love the output of that particular chatbot more than others. So jump around and play with them. As far as prompt, so now we're going to get into prompt engineering, right? So prompt engineering is the key to great results from AI, right? AI results depend heavily on well-crafted prompts. So let's learn how to create a good prompt, right? So what is prompt engineering? Right here. So I asked AI, explain prompt engineering quickly and simply in one paragraph. Prompt engineering is the practice of creating blah, 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 right? So the key here is being specific in what you're saying. So if you're going to get junk output if you give it junk input, right? So if you're vague with what you ask it, you're probably not going to get something out of it. And you're going to say, oh, AI sucks. But that's not what you want, right? If you want something really fantastic out of these chatbots, you need to make sure that you're asking it, giving it enough information to go on, right? 1 second here. Okay. Somebody out there, maybe mute your microphone. Okay. So prompt engineering, be specific. A vague prompt, teach me about marketing. A specific prompt, write a 3-bullet summary of the benefits of social media marketing for small business. Specificity matters. So you want to ask, like, you know, what do I want the AI to do? How can I word what I want in a clear and detailed way? Tune the output by saying things like, make it more persuasive, right? That's really amazing. Like, by the way, say you're creating a sales page on a website, or you're creating some kind of email where you're trying to get somebody to do something without making them feel like you're bossing them around or being rude, right? So you can ask it. You could say, make this more persuasive, or make this more, maybe you want to come off as more friendly. You could say, make it more conversational, make it less technical, make it shorter, add my name, company, and phone number to the end. Or even simply, what I do a lot is say, I don't like that, please do it over, or just do it over, right? Do it over and make it sound more kind. I use that a lot because as a business owner, a lot of times you get busy, or as a, even as an employee, you have a lot to do and you're trying to get things done, and you might say things that come off as curt or rude, right? With AI, you don't have to, that doesn't have to happen anymore. You can literally type an email out as rude as you want and as quickly as you want, as curt and purposeful as you want, paste it into AI and say, hey, make this sound nicer, make this sound more diplomatic, right? All of these things AI understands, right? One of the things that I like to do is and this is probably one of the best things that you can learn. Boy. There we go. So one of the best things you can do is role playing, right? This is the best thing. I've gotten some of the best output when I tell AI things like, pretend you're a sales wizard at growing an electrician business. Tell me some general things I can do to increase sales. Or act like my financial advisor. Look at my electricity, DWP, phone, gas, and water bills that I uploaded and tell me how to save money every month. By the way, this is something I've done. We got an outrageous DWP bill of like $1,100 for 2 months. And I uploaded it to AI. And I said, how can we save money? And it took a few seconds and it spit out, and it gave me all these ways that I could save money. And indeed, we've been saving money. Like, it's crazy. Like, to all the possibilities are probably not clear to you right now. And hopefully this class will help you become more aware of what some of the possibilities are. Well, another cool example, and this is just on a personal note, I had my, story time. Instead of me writing the stories, I had my son grab my phone and say, I want you to read me a story, son. And I told him, ask AI to make a story about something that's interesting to you. He's into planes. So he told AI something quickly and it created a story. And then he read the story to me and we were like, oh, and we did it over and over and over that night. And we've been doing it on a regular basis ever since. So there's just so many different ways. Just remember, like, tell the AI chatbot what kind of output you need. Do you need a list? Do you need a paragraph, a certain number of characters? All of these things are possible, right? Don't say something like, tell me about marketing, right? You want to say something like, summarize the benefits of social media make me a bullet summary of the benefits of social media marketing for small businesses, right? AI is great for social media, by the way, for making social media posts, for planning. You can plan an entire year of social media posts that are designed to have a very specific goal. I'm going to get a little bit more into this later. It's incredible. Okay, so here's some quick examples using AI chatbots. Because AI works best when the instructions are straightforward but detailed, right? You don't want to get too stuck in the woods. If it feels like your results are vague or too complicated, try these tips. Use simple language and don't overcomplicate. So analyze these profit and loss statements and give me insights. So this right here is an example. This is analyzing the profit and loss statement and so on and so forth. And I can say, make me a bar graph of these, right? And it'll create a bar graph. And this is a saved chat. So sometimes the saved chats will take a while. So while we're waiting for that, over here on the left-hand column of GPT are these what are called custom chatbots. And you can make your own, right, with this project button here. And then when you save them, they save up here. This is your history. So your history goes way back. And you can search your history, your past chats here. This starts a new chat. And this is where you pick the model, right, depending on what subscription level you have and what you're trying to do. Yeah, so see, this will create the bar graphs. But let's see here. here's the new one. So what I did was I had, if a lot of you filled out what's called a pre-class survey. So after you signed up, we asked you to create a pre-class survey so we could see what you want to learn from the class and what your education level is. And then I could say, make me some helpful graphs. So, so we're having some technical difficulties here. It's saying it's having trouble accessing the file. So I'm going to start a new chat. When that happens, that's what I do is I just start a new chat and upload from the computer. What I did is I exported all the survey results and then make me some helpful bar graphs. Or graphics, I said. So I'm not really thinking about this too much. I'm just trying to show you one of the things you can do, which is this is really helpful for reports. Say you're an office admin or a project manager, and you need to create a report. You don't have to know Excel anymore. That's a thing of the past. GPT will help you create all of that just with a few clicks of your keyboard. Down here, by the way, is where you upload your files. You can upload from Google Drive, OneDrive, or what I always do just from my computer. This search button allows it to search the web. And then the deep research, this will go really deep into a topic, and then some other tools over here. So there you go. It's created these charts over here, and I can make this bigger. And this is, of course, not ideal because some of the categories are long and so forth, but it's showing me the breakdown of people here, their AI understanding levels, mostly beginners, some intermediate, and so on and so forth. So that's a really cool thing you can do with AI, and I highly recommend trying that out. Okay, so go back over here. Okay, iterate and refine. So, if you're using a chatbot and you don't like the first result, don't worry. You can refine it. You can use phrases like, can you expand on this idea? Make it more conversational, rewrite it with fewer technical terms, or rewrite it using half the words. I use that a lot. By the way, why do I use rewrite it using half the words? Well, if you're making an email and it's like 10 paragraphs long, chances are it's not going to be read and comprehended the same way that if you said the same exact thing in half the amount of words. Likewise, if you have a web page and you're trying to sell a product or a service, if you have tons of words on the page, it looks like a homework assignment to your potential customer, and they're not going to read it. You're literally wasting the words on the page. So by reducing the number of words, AI can literally help you say the same exact thing using the fewest amount of words possible. And the fewer words you use means the more likely that it will be read in the first place and comprehended in the second, right? The important point here is iteration. And I go back to what I was talking about here. So for example, iteration, this tool right here is very helpful. So if I said, explain prompt engineering quickly and simply in one paragraph, maybe I would say in one sentence. Forgot how to type. Okay, but here's the cool thing. You don't need to spell it correctly. It knows. And there you go. Prompt engineering is the skill of designing clear and structured prompts to guide AI models in generating accurate, relevant, and useful responses. That's a lot better, right, for the purposes of a class like this. Okay. So experiment and learn. Prompt engineering is a skill you'll improve with practice. If you want to get up to speed for your job, you want to get up to speed as a business owner, you need to spend time in these AI chatbot programs. You need to learn about the tools that are available. Get a foundational understanding and get as much practice as possible. That's what's going to make you good at this. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I'm still every day going, oh, wow, that's a much better way to do it. And that's the great thing about having a team of 10 people is we're always exchanging ideas and learning about new tools from the day-to-day work that we do. So if you're a business owner or you're somebody that works at a business, I highly recommend, proselytizing and getting the word out and saying, hey, everybody, we need to learn this AI. This is something cool that I've learned, and share it with your teammates and your employees. Use different chatbots and then combine the best of them. So for example, you might find GPT is really good at making creative content, where like Claude is better at technical. And there are definite, like if you look at the breakdowns of these, they are definitely more skilled, some of them, than others in certain categories. So, but you have to experiment, right? I use AI for personal things too, as I mentioned, the bedtime stories, or I might say, when should I take my vitamin D, on an empty stomach or with food, right? Or should I consider incorporating more than 15 minutes of cardio into my daily routine? Or how long should a 55-year-old have to wait after weightlifting for 30 minutes to recover, right? So anyway, another example is last year, I was about to submit my tax returns, and I was like really kind of bummed at how much money I owed. And I submitted it. I just put, what my accountant said I owed into AI, and it found several $1,000s more worth of deductions that my accountant didn't find. So accountants, yeah, you gotta, be careful, because AI is coming for you, and it doesn't make the same mistakes that human does. It's not perfect, but it's getting better, and it's already in many ways better than any human. Okay, prompt engineering pro tip. This is probably the biggest takeaway. Like, prompt engineering is not something you're going to learn overnight. It definitely takes practice, but again, you can use AI for prompt engineering. So here's an example. Here's I need an image for my online class, free AI for business course. Learn AI basics so you can stay competitive. Please create a prompt for me. And then it created this prompt: a professional, engaging digital image for an online course titled blah, blah, blah. And here's the prompt. Now, the goal is to read it, not just take what it says, because I might not like. It might say a sleek laptop or holographic interface, blah, blah, blah. And that might not be what I want. But this is a well thought out prompt. So you don't even have to be a prompt engineer anymore, because you can have AI be your prompt engineer. Now I take that here to a program called Recraft, right? Create a new project. And this Recraft is a particular image generating software that it excels at creating images with text. GPT is terrible at creating images, by the way. I could say, I could do the same thing here. So it's not a specific image generator, but it does create images. A professional, so tell it the same thing here, and then go back to Recraft while that's building. And this is generating. It's usually super quick. And there you go, right? Oh, yeah, there you go. So it created this image here, and it's super amazing. I mean, this would, I would be really happy with this if I asked one of my employees a few years ago to make it. And then it gives me a second version over here. And the text, unlike GPT and some of the others, is always, or almost always, perfect. If I go to GPT here, you can see what kind of nonsense it makes, right? It's like the text is all weird. And if you look at some of this stuff here, it's spelling errors and this weird AI output. So GPT is not the program for AI. Now, it does have over here, under the additional tools, it does have image using Dolly, which is a lot better in some cases, but for the most part, don't use GPT for image creation. Recraft is not a part of this course, by the way. It's a new one that I just learned about. I was using Ideogram. We'll get into that a little bit more later. But that's the biggest pro tip, right? So until you become a really good prompt engineer, just ask AI to be your prompt engineer and see what it does. And that's the best way you're going to learn. It's kind of like an over-the-shoulder watching a professional prompt engineer, and it'll help accelerate that learning curve to becoming a really good prompt engineer. Probably, I would arguably, I would say the #1 skill any one of you will develop in AI is good prompt engineering. That's my opinion. I know from my own experience that I spend hours every day in GPT, hours every single day. Okay. AI hallucinations. I do have to talk about this as a big warning. When you're chatting with AI, you can't be sure that the information AI gives you is accurate. It's like an overconfident storyteller. If it doesn't know the answer, it won't stay silent and it won't ever say, I don't know. At least not yet. And that's crazy, right? It won't tell you I don't know. It'll just make something up and it will just act like it's a fact. It's called AI hallucination. So for example, in the past, I think it's getting better now, but you could say, who won the Super Bowl in 2050? A year ago, if you asked GPT that, it would literally just make something up, even though the Super Bowl has not happened yet. But they've fixed that now. It says it can't predict the future, but it still does things like this. So yeah, and it's even harder to figure out sometimes. That's why if it's mission critical and you need to be sure that it's accurate, use Perplexity. Yeah. Okay. So be careful about those AI hallucinations. Some have a lot more hallucinations than others, some chatbots. Okay, now I'm going to get into some really cool examples here. But before I do that, Chris, what's going on over in the chat? Anything interesting going on that I should be aware of?
We had a request earlier for specifically how to promote like on Instagram and Facebook, if there were any apps to help create posts for sales.
Yeah, I believe okay. Yeah, I believe I get into that a little bit later in the meeting. I also have a, let's see here. This is one of the reasons that I don't love, let's see. All right, I'm going to launch a quick poll here. I've never used one of these before. This is the first time, but there's a this poll, this QR code right here. If you scan this with your phone, it should take you to a quick quiz, kind of test you a little bit on your AI knowledge so far. And I'll just leave that up for a second here. I'm not sure that I can share that in chat. Chat doesn't allow you to share images, I don't believe. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys are all able to scan that QR code. I'll leave that up and come back to it later if you guys still need it. But I want to get into some specific strategies here of things that you can use AI for on a day-to-day basis. Making content better, researching, creating, and optimizing content, understanding documents, analyzing web pages, replying to reviews, and interpreting survey data, which I already kind of blew and got into. So the first one, though, is making content better. Okay. So make your writing better with AI. This is one of the best things you can use AI for. Trust me, if you're not doing it, your competitors are, other employees at other organizations are. There's no reason for poor grammar and punctuation errors or like I said, rude tones, lack of diplomacy, a lack of being comprehensive. All of these things can be solved with AI and really make you perfect. In the same way that calculators made everybody's math perfect. You don't have to do these things with pen and paper or anything like that anymore. So here's an first example. Make it better, right? So make it better. Hey, heads up, our company is going to have a sale next week. You might want to check it out if you need anything, right? So here we go. Hey, just a quick heads up. Our big sale is happening next week. If you've been thinking about grabbing something, this is the perfect time. Stay tuned for details. Now, I purposely made this short, right? I could easily say, make this much more persuasive and try to make it so that people are more inclined to come to our sale, right? And see what it says, So there we go. So now it's more social media-ish. It's throwing in the emojis, which, by the way, interestingly enough, from a marketing perspective, emojis increase reader views and sales. They do. A lot of people don't use them, like they're afraid to put a smiley face in an email or whatever because it looks unprofessional. Guess what? You're doing yourself a disservice when you do that, because the nature of online communications is very impersonal. By adding, and so people, you might say something, you might be in your head, you might be like saying it really nicely, and then someone reads it and they're like, oh, that was rude. And you're like, well, it was rude. It was like, and so I've lost friends over like text conversations, right? There's no tone involved. The reason that emojis are helpful for sales and for communications is they help set a tone. Like a smiley face at the end of a sentence can say, hey, look, I'm being nice about this. I'm not trying to be a jerk, So big news, our biggest sale of the season is happening next week. This is your chance to grab what you need at unbeatable prices, but only for a limited time. Don't miss out on exclusive deals that won't last. Set a reminder and keep an eye for the details. Now, I can say, okay, the sale. Now, this is not good enough. When is the sale? Remember, if you're talking about sales language, specificity converts, clarity converts. And this is not clear. When's the sale? What time is it? What's for sale, right? So you want to modify that. The sale is 10 a.m. March 7th. So 7th, and we're selling old hat inventory. All right, so now it's going to incorporate that. So this is what I talked about earlier about iteration, right? So when you don't get the exact output that you want, you can make it more specific, right? So in this case, so there you go, right? So there's an example of making something better. So like you knew you wanted to just tell them, hey, we're having a sale, come down if you need anything, but you didn't really know how to make good sales copy. So there you go. This could be an email, this could be a web page, this could be, a social media post, you name it, right? That's how one of the ways you can make writing better. Here's an example of make it simpler. Make it simpler. The software solution that we offer is designed in such a way. So one of the best things you can do, whether you're an employee or a business owner, is simplify. It is often said in marketing that you want to write at about a 7th grade level. So the problem is especially with smart people, is they want to come off as smart. That's a mistake. Unless you're trying to impress a group of your peers and you're a doctor, right? Or you're an engineer and you're trying to present to other engineers, you're making a huge mistake trying to sound smart. Don't ever try to sound smart. Sound kind, sound basic, because then you'll appeal to the broadest set of people and you'll communicate more clearly, right? Also, when you're trying to sound smart, and that's one of the things you have to really be careful about with AI, because AI can make you sound way smarter than you really are. That's a mistake. You don't want to sound smart in most cases, except for exceptions, like I mentioned. You want to sound clear and basic. When you're trying to sound smart, if anybody is not as smart as you, you're making them feel stupid. And they're nothing. And people don't like, who was it? Maya Angelou said that people don't remember what you said. They remember how you make them feel. If you're trying to sell something, or you're trying to get a teammate to help you, and you're sounding all smart, and they feel intimidated by your intelligence, they're not going to do what you want. They're going to be less inclined to help you. They're going to be less inclined to buy your product or service. Don't sound smart. Sound helpful. Be simple and basic. You could even say, write this at a 7th grade reading level. Just paste it in there and say, write this in fact, do that with all your communications, unless you're, like I said, presenting to your boss who is an engineer, and you want to sound really smart to that person, then you can do that. But you have to be careful again, right? There's drawbacks to that, because if you present in a way that where you sound all smart, and then they get asked questions on, in a meeting, and you can't back that up with your own intelligence, then you have a problem. So again, it's better to communicate simply and clearly than try to sound smarter than you are in almost every single case. Make it more detailed, right? So now, with respect to whether you're an employee or a business owner, a lot of times there will be situations where you need to give people enough information to make an informed decision, right? So in this example, someone says, oh, they're thinking about replacing their kitchen faucet. Say you're a plumber, right? And they say, well, what's involved in replacing a kitchen faucet? And they send an email out. And then you say, well, replacing a kitchen faucet's a quick job. It's usually done. And see, plumbers are likely to do something like this. They're a lot of times they're blue collar workers. They don't spend a lot of time behind a desk. So they're just going to, say, oh, they're just going to tell you what they, real simple explanation. But the other person on the end of the line, is like, well, that's not enough information. It's like, okay, it's done in an hour or two, and this is what you do. But I need to know, like how much downtime, like all these other factors that might be involved. And so in this case, you say, make it longer and more detailed, right? And then you can even say, okay, that's too long. That might be a little too long, right? So this is an example of how you can make something better. Like if you're creating a sales page and it's something that's complicated, emotionally laden, or expensive, then you don't want to just put a few words on the page. You're never going to sell anything. You want to make sure that you are being comprehensive and detailed. Again, if it's emotionally laden, like, a cancer doctor or an attorney, personal injury attorney, because you got in an accident, or it's expensive, like a realtor, or a remodel, or it's complicated, again, like, maybe it's an architect, or again, an attorney. Any of these, you're going to want to make sure that your copy presents enough information for them to make an informed decision. Otherwise, the chances of you closing that deal or coordinating with somebody else who has to, give you their time, say a teammate or group of people or whatever, say a charity, they're going to be much less likely to want to help or buy from you. So the next example here is make it perfect, right? This is the last example. So proofread this, fix spelling, grammar, and punctuation errors. So I just, purposely, what I did is I said, hey, I asked AI, I said, hey, make me 3 paragraphs with a lot of spelling, punctuation errors. And then, I pasted it in here, and then it went through and rewrote it. And it's perfect. And you can guarantee, by the way, AI might have AI hallucinations, but it never gets grammar, punctuation, or spelling wrong. Never. It's always perfect. Okay. All right. Next topic here. Research, create, and optimize content. So here we go. We're going to create some content, right? So research. What are the top 10 drain cleaning service keywords for a plumber in Los Angeles, California? So to enhance your online visibility as a plumber, consider incorporating these keywords, and it lists these top 10 keywords. So now you have this amazing intelligence to give you these. It knows how popular these keywords are because AI basically sees everything on the internet that's publicly available. So normally I would have to use a tool like this, which can cost $400 or $1,000 a month more with the keyword research tool. So I could say plumbing service with this tool and pay $400 a month or more. And now it's giving me the breakdown of what it says the most popular keywords are. And it shows you the volume. And so it gives you a lot more information. And you can get a lot of that from AI as well. But here are these 10 keywords. So now if you take those keywords and put these on your web page or put them in your social media posts, you're going to get more organic visibility than you would if you didn't use these keywords. That's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make, is they just throw up content that they think is good, but it doesn't work the way search engines do. Search engines they just do math, and now they're incorporating some AI. But anyway, that's how you can research the keyword. So now, if you're writing a blog article, for example, or a sales page, or a social media post, you know to include these 10 keywords as much as possible in your content. That's going to get you more visibility. Create it. So now that you have those 10 keywords, you could say 500-word service page with persuasive sales copy for a plumbing company's drain cleaning service in Los Angeles, California. The company name is Super Rooter Plumbing Services, and they have 123 5-star reviews, and they're licensed and bonded. Now it's writing this content here, right? So I wrote this content, and that's great. Now I want to point out something here. This content is not optimized. It's not optimized for social media. It's not optimized for a web page. You could even argue like it's not even optimized if you were just sending it as an email, right? Because people look for those specific types of words. So now we're going to go back here and we're going to say optimize it. So now we're going to take the first 2 steps with the 10 keywords, the sales copy. Remember, this copy is made to sell. It's not made for visibility or optimization. And now I'm going to say, okay, take these 10 keywords and take this content and optimize this sales copy for search. And now it's going to go in and replace and substitute words in the sales copy so that now it's not only optimized for conversions, but it's optimized for search rankings too. So this is something we do in our agency probably more than anything else. And it's incredible, like that you have access to this for free. The free versions will do this. To be able to do this for your business now and not have to have any special knowledge and not have to use any special tools. So this is a hot pro tip right here. This is incredible. I mean, if you have a website and you want to optimize it, you're going to be way ahead of 90% of your competitors or more by using this technique right here. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next slide here. AI-powered document understanding. So this one I use a lot too, like, terms of service or non-competes or, service contracts or, whatever it is, or, summarizing a blog article. I use it all the time. This just so happens to be the mother of all terms of service agreements. It is said to take 2 hours and 10 minutes to read this if you were to read it all. But with AI, I can, take this right here and I can say, by the way, I'm going to close. We're getting a little crazy here with tabs. I'm going to close some of these here. And I'm going to say, okay, GPT, I'm going to say summarize the key points in this. Paste it, click search, and then hit go. And now it's going to read that article for me, right? And I can ask it questions. It might not answer some question I might have, like, okay, well, what about pricing and recurring charges or whatever, if they're applicable, right? And so now it's summarized it. By the way, really awesome tip. If you wanted to, or another example, let's say, I don't know if I have this here in the example. Let me see here. Analyzing web pages, review responses, interpreting data. Okay, yeah, I don't. Okay, let me show you this real quick. If you have content that's behind a paywall, for example, like I subscribe to Wired magazine, right? So wired.com, and I'm into mountain bikes. So this is a breakdown of this new e-bike, right? And I don't want to read this whole thing. I don't want to read it. I can't tell GPT to summarize it. Why? It's behind a paywall. You have to pay for this. GPT doesn't have the subscription to Wired. So I could say, I'm assuming. Anyway, we're just going to assume that's true, and it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a really cool tool here. And this is also a really fantastic tip. This is one of my favorite tools of all time. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to scroll down to export page copy. Now it's exported this article, and I can go back to GPT, click upload the article, and now I can say summarize. So now I have a way to work around summarizing content behind a paywall, right? That I pay for, right? So there you go. So now it's giving me a summary of the article. And I use this all the time because I read so much. And a lot of times these articles are full of fluff. They're trying to get rankings or whatever. And so they're, writing they're trying to get to a specific word count, like 1,000 or 2,000 words or whatever. And I just don't have time to read it, or I don't want to invest the time to read it. And now it gives me a nice little summary of the pros and cons and so forth of that. So really cool. And by the way, this tool here, so if we go to a website, so best, electrician in Los Angeles, let's say, and we go to this here, let's Powell Electric, right? I can go to this tool and I can see some really cool stuff here. Like, for example, I can see what their title tag is. By the way, if any of you work on web pages, the title tag is the most important part of the page. And you'd be surprised at how, like, some pages don't even have a title tag, or the title tag is something ridiculously irrelevant to the page. The meta description is very important too. The reason they're important is because they're what show up here, right? So a lot of times this one is for some reason showing up strangely, but this meta description is that right there. So this is where you put your sales copy. So I could say, hey, if I were optimizing this site, I could go in and say, hey, make this more persuasive, right? And now it's going to go in and potentially, depending subjectively on what you have to say, and then say, well, meta descriptions only need to be 165 characters, so I could say 165 characters.
Excuse me, Robert.
Yes.
We got a question in chat. What was the tool to upload page articles?
Oh, I didn't tell you the name of the tool. Yes, this is called the SEO Pro Extension. SEO Pro Extension. It does so many things. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it does tell you like your H1 tags, and your images, your image alt tags. There's a little tag on the back of every image on a web page, and Google looks at those, and they count towards your ranking. So it does a ton. Like the first thing that I do when I'm looking at a web page is open this tool and look at their title tag, meta description, and some of the other factors here. You see this right here? They're missing an H1 tag, which is the third most important SEO factor of all, and they don't have one. So this page is, even though they're ranking number 2, the page is not well optimized, but they're probably ranking on brand authority. Okay. Let's go to the next slide here. Analyzing web pages. I kind of just did that, so I'm not going to, get too into it here. But yeah, what I just showed you, is looking at these, the title tags and meta descriptions with this tool. There's also an amazing tool here called Keywords Everywhere, which I have turned off right now. But I can go to Landscaping Los Angeles, turn on my Keywords Everywhere tool, and this Chrome extension will show up over here. It'll show me the difficulty for that keyword and a bunch of other stuff here. One of the things I love is it will write my title tag. I can say analyze titles for SERP. I can and it will write my title tag for me. And it'll be based on AI. It'll like literally look at all the title tags of every web page and then combine all the best of all of them into the ultimate title tag for that page. It's incredible. Like this used to take, you had to be an SEO to be able to do this. You don't now. You can check the rankability for the keyword to see if you even have a chance to rank for that. You can check search intent. Like Landscaping Los Angeles might be, people searching just for information. They're not even looking to hire anybody. That's not true. But the search intent is really important. So it can do some really cool stuff. Yeah, so again, the SEO Pro extension by Marketing Syrup, free, really cool. All right, the next thing is review responses. One of the best things you can do for a business is reply to reviews. So here's one of our clients, Tree Masters in New Orleans. They've got 42 Google reviews. And if you look, every single review has a reply. And you'd be surprised. Most businesses don't reply to their reviews. It's bizarre. And it's further bizarre because in the review, review reply, you can optimize it so that you get better rankings and more business in the future. How do you do that? Well, you copy the review, you go to GPT, and you can say, write an SEO optimized, or you could, less technical, you can write an optimized for Google search reply to this review. And then optimized to what? Optimized for tree service in New Orleans. And then paste the review in, and it'll basically instantly write that review reply. And the review reply will include keywords like New Orleans and tree service and so on and so forth. And it'll add them multiple times because Google counts. They count keywords. So the more you have the keywords, the better, right? And even little emojis there, right? Which is cool. And then you just take that, paste it into the reply, and you're done. Okay. Interpreting survey data, I already discussed this. I exported my, I use a program called Formly for reviews, surveys, and surveys and quizzes and so forth. And I can easily go here to one of my review or surveys, go to the results, and I can download those results as a CSV. And then I can just open that up in GPT and upload the document and ask it questions like, what percentage of respondents are that's the right spell. So now I can ask it any question I want about this here, and it will do its best to analyze it and give me the information that I want. I asked it, what my insights were. In this case right here, what are the key insights for this survey before the class? And it said most attendees are beginners. The majority want to learn AI for career development or gain a basic understanding, with some focused on business applications. Interactive sessions and group discussions are the most effective. And the biggest challenges are implementation complexity. So you guys are worried about how complicated it is, the cost and data privacy. And then post-class application, once you are done with the class, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with what you've learned? So really cool stuff. Again, like I'm a nerd, so I just think this stuff is so cool. And now we're going to get into some AI tools, and I've got to move quickly here. But as amazing as these chatbots are, there's a universe of AI apps that do some pretty incredible things. These tools often do very specific things, like help you filter emails, filter out spam better than any other tools, automatically create a draft reply to all your emails. There's an app out there that you install this for your Gmail, and when you wake up in the morning, every single email will have a reply, draft, ready for you to click send or edit and click send. Incredible, right? Automatically finding leads and regularly contacting them and staying in touch with them. So I'm going to show you a tool that you can put on your website, and the tool will tell you all the businesses that came to your website, their contact information. You export that into MailChimp or whatever email program is, and then you send emails to them. They already came to your website. You know they're interested. Follow up with them, right? That's how you close deals. Like, I think something like ridiculous, like 3% of in general of all types of deals, only 3% are closed on the first interaction. It takes an average of 7 interactions or more to close a deal. So anyway, so I also have an entire website dedicated to AI tools and new AI tool development. I'm going to ask you, I'll give you guys the ability to subscribe to that if you're interested, but I really recommend staying in tune with these AI tools, because as amazing as the chatbots are, the tools are even more amazing. So let's get into it. Okay, 1,000 articles at once. This is ZimWriter. This is what I was talking about at the beginning, and this one's been a game changer for me. It can do some things that are really, truly spectacular, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Opening it up, and I have a lifetime license on this here. So it has a one-click writer. Like, I can go in here and just say, you know, apple pie, and it will write me an article on apple pie. And remember, you can do this with GPT too, but this is made to create blog posts that will rank. Not just the stuff coming out of GPT is not going to get you any search rankings, I promise. It has what's called the SEO writer, which is a much more detailed, like you could set your blog post title, the background of, you know, some information you want to be in the article, like it could be your company information, contact information, and it will automatically include all of that. If you have this right here, it will scrape the internet looking for the top ranking articles, find out what they're doing to rank on the first page of Google, and incorporate those things into the article. It's incredible. You know, you can specify, you know, this gets more detailed, whether you want lists or tables.
You can't see the screen.
What's that?
We can't see the screen you're looking at.
Really? Chris, are you there? Can't see the screen?
We see the create 1,000 articles at once with the quiz pop up.
Wow, that's weird. Okay. I have the tool open over here. That's really bizarre. That's interesting. Okay. That's weird. I didn't seem to have this problem on the last meeting. Huh, that's weird. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, I will it's on the class resources page, and I will make that available at the end of the class. But basically, what I'm showing is
are you able to drag it onto the screen with your Chrome?
What's that?
Can you drag it onto the same screen with your Chrome?
Oh, it is. That's the point. It's
Oh.
showing. Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. It's for some reason it's a standalone app. That might be why it's not a web app. But normally I don't have a problem. Again, if this was Google Meet, wouldn't be a problem. This is a Zoom thing, so I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, excellent program. By the way, this it has the ability to write 1,000 articles is no joke. You can go into GPT and say, create me, you know, 100 article topics on home remodeling, let's say, or, you know, personal injury law. And then you can look at all those 100 article topics, paste them, literally just paste them into ZimWriter and say, go. And it will write 100 blog articles, and they'll all be optimized for search. Incredible stuff. The next one is professional content optimization. So once you've written an article, if you want to really make sure that you have the best chance of ranking that article, then what you want to do is optimize it with an AI tool like Surfer. So this is Surfer SEO, and this is another one. We did a lot of work for this company, just coincidentally, but it's something we use in our agency every single day. And what you can do with this is I can say, okay, I want to optimize an article. Say your personal injury, let's say prices, right? So if I click here and maybe here's a article on personal injury lawyer fees in California. I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to say new content, and I'm going to say import the content from the URL, and I'm going to say personal. I'm going to look right up here, by the way. I can find out what they're targeting here. Personal injury lawyers fees, right? In California. Copy that, paste it here as the keyword, and then click create. And now it's going to create what's called a content editor here and give me the ability to optimize this article. And the way this works is it uses AI and analyzes all the top ranking pages and compares this particular page to all the others, and then gives you a plan to optimize it. But as you'll see, it does something even better. With a click of a button, you can optimize the article all by itself. I'm going to let that run here for a second, and I'll come back to that while this is running. It'll just take a minute or so. AI-powered product images. So this is really incredible. One of the most amazing uses of AI are the AI image generators. Tools like Midjourney and Dolly and Ideogram and Recraft and so many others can create hyper-realistic images that can be used on websites, directory profiles, social media, and more. And so we're going to look at some of the difficulties of business images and how AI solves them, right? But before we do that, I'm going to go back to Surfer here, and this is done, and it's showing me that this article gets a content optimization score of 57. The top ranking article, according to this, gets a score, or top optimized article gets a score of 86, right? So, and then it tells you why right here. It's missing this word, it's missing this word, it that needs more of these words, and so on and so forth. Well, I can get in the past, before the auto-optimize AI feature, we used to go in and spend hours trying to get all these words in here and optimizing this article, right? And now I can just click auto-optimize, and now it's going to go in and rewrite this article and optimize it. Incredible. So we're going to come back to that again, and we're going to move on to the AI product images. So here's an example. So this is going to be a little problem solution. A printing company needs 50 different banner size images for its website, but has limited time and money. So we've all probably, anybody that's worked for a business knows how difficult it is to get good images for a web page, or for social media for that matter. And in the past, it could require, photographers and all kinds of other designers and all. And now, if you know what you're doing, anybody can create images with AI, but to create the images that are specific to your need is a very different thing. You need to know what you're doing, right? So in this case, if they were doing it before without AI, it would take them 6 hours to print all of these, so they could photograph them. The material costs would be $750. The labor and printing, these are just basic estimates, but these 50 images could cost $3,000, right? But now the solution is use AI to generate the high quality product images with perfectly integrated text in minutes without the need for printing, photography, or manual editing. The cost for this was $10. So we went from almost $3,000 to $10. And the end result is this. They're a banner company. And they have, so for example, we're going to go to bigger, better banner, or actually show you something, banner sizes. This is a keyword, has a lot of search volume that we've ranked them for. And let's see here, they're currently at number 5. They vacillate between number 1 and number 5. And you click on this here, and they sell all kinds of different banner sizes. I'm going to click on 4x6, and you can see here, these were all created before with digitally on a computer, but they're not real banners. They're just pictures of banners. What you see over here, sorry, here we go here, close that. Oh, it's on there. there we go. This looks like somebody really printed out a 10 by 10 banner and there's a person standing by it. That's going to help you sell these banners more than a mock-up like this. This is helpful. Don't get me wrong, but something like this is way better. So to be able to do this for all your banner images in a fraction of the time for pennies on the dollar compared to before is a huge breakthrough for small businesses. Now let's go back and take a little visit to our article here. Now look at that. I auto-optimize it and it went from 50 something up to 82. And I click save and close. And now, of course, you'd have to proofread it and make sure it's accurate, but it increased the word count. It increased the number of keywords, important keywords. And now I can literally just copy this, paste it over the other one, and now it's going to be more likely to rank for more keywords. Remember, articles don't just rank for one keyword. So in this example here, if we go back to personal injury fees and we take this article and pull it open in this tool here, Ahrefs, and we say, okay, what is this article ranking for? Well, it's ranking for 266 keywords. So it's ranking number 1 for how much do lawyers take from settlement in California. It's ranking number 4 for personal injury lawyer fees, California, but it isn't ranking anywhere close to the first page for any of the other keywords. So basically, it's only ranking for 2 keywords because only 2 are on the first page and almost nobody goes to the second page. There's like a funny joke in the search engine world that says, where do you hide a dead body? You hide it on the second page of Google because nobody ever goes there, right? There's too much information on the first page as it is. Why would anybody go? So by optimizing this article, it's very possible that they could capture dozens more first page rankings and get way more traffic to the site. Instead of, 84 people estimated a month, it could have 840 a month or more, right? So this is an example, a really awesome example of how AI can make you money. That's what this is all about. Like at the end of the day, what I'm teaching you all is how to make more money, how to be more secure in your job, how to grow your business. That's my perspective of AI because that's what I do. Okay, problem. A construction company with multiple locations in different states needs headshots for 50 admin employees. And this is an extreme example, right? But photographer sitting fee, $500 a person, cost per headshot, $100, blah, blah, blah. Remember, they're in different cities too, right? So there's they have to get perfect headshots for everybody. They'd have to fly everybody to the same photographer. Otherwise they're going to be different lighting angles and quality depending on the photographer and the city they're in, right? The solution, AI headshots. Cost $39 per person for 40 AI generated headshots. And believe me, I use this myself and it's a game changer. I can't stand being behind the camera. And what I did with this program, there's several of them out there, is I uploaded 10 selfies. I waited a few hours, I came back and there were 40 headshots and 30 of them were amazing. Amazing. Like, I mean, some of the best pictures I ever quote unquote took are from this here. It's incredibly impressive what this can do. Even if you're just one person, or you have a small team of people, for just a few $100s, every single one of them can have professional headshots that you can upload to your about page on your website, put on your social media, so on and so forth, and you instantly look better. Branding is important. It's really important. And the more, it's less important necessarily, say, for a blue collar worker, but it's still important for them too. Nobody wants to hire a dirty plumber to come into their house. Like there's actually a plumbing company that their tagline is plumbers that smell good, So anyway, AI headshots. It's incredible.
Question as to the name of this app?
It's all shared in the course resources. Yeah. So right here, $49. You get 100 different headshots for $49. Here's another one. Problem. An online furniture company needs 5 videos for testimonials and social media ads. All right. Now, this can get real expensive. Cost per video, $1,000 to $2,000. And that's no joke, right? Videographers are expensive, good ones especially. There's downtime and there's production time and editing time and, takes weeks to get everything going for a lot of these companies, right? Solution, AI generated videos. They're nearly indistinguishable. Cost per video, $10. Total cost, $50 versus $5,000 to $10,000. And don't believe it? I'll let you see it yourself. This is Helen. And I'm going to show you the testimonial video here for Helen.
You know what's crazy? I used to think designer furniture was completely out of reach for me. Then I discovered modern resale, and it completely changed how I furnish my home. We're talking about incredible pieces from Minotti, B&B Italia, Casina, Herman Miller, the kind of furniture that gets passed down through generations at prices that actually make sense. I recently picked up this gorgeous Italian sofa that would have cost me over $17,000 new, but I got it for just $7,500. And here's the thing, it looks absolutely pristine.
I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can see there, like, it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's not perfect, but it's, for most, like, if you're scrutinizing it, you can see little things here and there maybe, but for the most part, if this shows up on a mobile phone where it's smaller and it has a text overlay, you can even, these services will even do that for you too. No one's ever going to question that this is real. They're not going to know. And if it's this good now, imagine what it's going to be like in a year or 3 years or 5 years. Completely indistinguishable. This is a game changer for businesses. If you have a website and you don't have video testimonials and your customer does, 9 times out of 10, they're going to, all other things equal, they're going to choose the company with video testimonials. Video testimonials are powerful. And again, it's no different than hiring an actor and paying them a lot of money to promote your product. It's no different. It's zero different. That's just as fake as this, right? The point is, it allows you to communicate and do things that only big companies would normally be able to do. Okay. Problem: an educator needs a slide deck for a class he's teaching, right? So this one's obvious. This is me. I told you, one of my class or conference that I presented at, it took me 75 hours to create my slide deck and my presentation. This class took me 2 days. This slide deck program is absolutely incredible. I just love it so much. Obviously it's the Gamma app. And if I leave this presentation here, creating a slide is this simple. I go over here and I say, okay, I'm going to add a slide below, add a card. They call them cards, strangely. And then I can go right into this card and say, make, or just say a slide about AI privacy. And let's see what it says. And literally, I give it almost nothing to work on. I would definitely want to have a more detailed prompt. And there you go. It creates the content. And now I can go through and read this and be like, okay, is this good? But look at that. In seconds, I have a slide. Now, in the past, 5 years ago, if someone had created this slide, I would be like, yeah, it's a pretty good slide, right? But now it just took almost no effort to create this slide. Delete the slide. I can go in, I can replace the image, I can do a lot of other things too, by the way, guys. I can, I could say make longer, make shorter, simplify the language. These are things that I just taught you. Here, coincidentally, by the way, I didn't even realize those were there because I don't use those features, but make it more visual, try a different layout, replace images, add another image, a lot of cool stuff here. Let's see if I can get back to the slide I was at here. So yeah, the solution, use an AI slide deck creator, remember it's, we're just going to move on here. Okay, problem: marketing agency has a terrible bookkeeper. That's my case, right? I'm kind of frustrated with my bookkeeper, making mistakes, late on this and that. She charges me about $2,640 a year, not including tax prep. And so, she's out of town, having babies, this and that. And hey, I get it. I have kids. I'm not putting down maternity leave and stuff like that. But I mean, that doesn't mean that I still don't have needs, right? It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to be off for 2 months and now I don't get profit and loss statements for 2 months. That's not okay. AI bookkeeping. So I migrated to an AI bookkeeping app, let my bookkeeper go. And now I have everything is always done instantly, all the time. My profit and loss statements, balance sheets, tax prep, everything, all done. And it cost me $400 a year. So another amazing example for business owners out there. You know, it's crazy. I've shown this to so many people, and people are just like, ah, that's nice. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, back in 2000 where I'm like, check this out. It's an internet. It's an online, you know, you can have an online store. You can sell online. Oh, that's really cool. Believe it or not, there are still businesses without a website. It's the most bizarre thing. And they wonder why they're not getting new customers. You know, saving money is making money. You know, running your business professionally is making money. And if you're not creating profit and loss statements and you're not doing your bookkeeping every month, which I didn't do for the first almost 2 decades of my business, you're not as professional of a business person as you could be. So, you know, all of these things add up. And, you know, bookkeeping is important, obviously, for tax reasons too. But imagine taking AI, and we're going to go a little bit long. I hope you guys have time. If not, no big deal. But I just want to quickly go over this. Imagine taking the AI, almost done here, for business a step further for your job, right? So for example, you know, I'm an account manager at a furniture store. This could be, I'm a human resources professional at a, you know, manufacturing company, whatever, you know, and you tell the AI about your job, tell it what you do. Tell it what your roles and responsibilities are. Tell it what you don't like about your job. Tell it what you do like about your job. And then ask it to tell you how to use AI to make your job better, to make it more efficient. And then go to your boss and say, hey, I have a plan here to make my job better with AI. What do you think? And you're going to look really good to your boss. I promise you. That people are still asleep at the wheel on AI. They really are. So I commend all of you for being here. But, you know, it just basically, it gave a full-blown plan here on how to implement AI and make your job better. Okay. Imagine, by the way, that you're a business owner. Same thing, right? You know, tell it about your business. I own a plumbing business in Houston, 10 years, 15 employees, 8 fleet vehicles, blah, blah, blah. How can I use AI to beat our competitors and grow 20% a year for the next 10 years? And now it's going to give you a roadmap on how to use AI to grow your business, right? Think of AI as a second brain. I just read a book called Co-Intelligence. Fantastic book, by the way. Co-Intelligence, your second brain, not your gut, there's a documentary called The Second Brain, which is your gut, but like literally an auxiliary brain, this AI, these chatbots, they make you smarter. Use them. Think of new ways that you can just start typing crap in there and see what happens. Even better, you know, imagine, do this. This is one of the best things that you can do. Ask AI to interview you, right? It's because you don't know what to ask AI. That's the hard part, right? It's like, ask it to interview you, right? Tell it, describe your business, tell it what you want to do, and then ask it to ask you questions so that it can give you a more accurate picture. So now, AI, in this example, AI is asking you, what are your primary responsibilities? What are your timing and staffing? What are your admin tasks? Blah, blah, blah. And then you answer all these questions, and it says, let me know your responses, and we'll move forward with an action plan. Then you reply to all these questions, click go, and now it's going to give you a really detailed action plan. Amazing, amazing stuff. Okay, now, finally, we're going to get into something more intermediate and advanced here. What if you were a business owner or maybe a key employee at a business, manager, whatever, and you uploaded, literally, you took all the last 5 years of invoices and sales receipts and revenue reports and profit and loss and accounts payable and parts costs, and look at all, these are all the things you can upload and more. In one case, a company went out to a big hotel chain. I'm not going to say the name, but they went out using this platform I'm going to show you, and they said, hey, if you give us the 3 years of all your documentation for your business, we're going to show you how you can increase profit and revenue. And they did. They said, okay, we're going to give you all this, sign all these paperwork, and lawyers got involved in this and that. And they went back, they programmed, they created all these custom libraries and everything. And they came out with a plan. And they said, hey, okay, you need to raise your room rates by 4%. You need to start advertising here. You need to start cutting this cost. Here's a new supplier for your towels that's going to save you, $20,000 a year. And it gave them a complete plan for this hotel chain to increase revenue. And they landed a multi-million-dollar contract implementing AI for this business by doing that. It's incredible what you can do. We're just barely scratching the surface here. This is called a platform called MechLabs AI. And MechLabs AI allows you to do that. And this is the last, by the way. I'm going to get through this here. So basically what this allows you to do is create what I just told you, upload all the documents, create your custom AIs, custom libraries, custom apps, everything. And this can be used by your team, by your employees, by your marketing team, and so forth. And the reason that this is different than an AI chatbot is that it is specific to your business. It's not related just in general to general knowledge. This AI chatbot knows everything about your business, as much as possible about your competitors, everything. And you can, configure this platform here. Again, it's going to be in the tools and resources page. So you don't have to bookmark anything. And it's incredible, guys. I mean, we'll get more into that in our intermediate class, but this MechLabs AI is just really fantastic. Tailored expertise, branding and customization, and there's too much to get into, but this MechLabs AI has incorporated 10,000 split tests into the platform so that, if you say, hey, how can I make this offer better? It will tap into 10,000 split tests that it's done, because the founder of this company has worked for Intel and all these other companies, and he's the best in the world at conversion optimization. And it will literally give you a methodology to optimize any sales copy, any marketing, whatever it is. It's really fantastic. Something, a game changer for business owners. Okay, so that's all for now. So the next steps, experiment, remember, just get in there like you're sitting at the couch, at the end of the day, play around with GPT and all of these, right? Join our Facebook support group. Again, it's going to be on the resources page, but this support group is for you. It's, if you have questions, you want to be a part of a community that, of business owners and professionals, I highly recommend joining the group. Of the intermediate class, this says 50% off, but it's actually free now. So you can join our intermediate class and learn even more about this. This is coming up in May. And then reach out to me. You can contact me on my website. I offer a free consultation. So if you go to the hourly consultation here, you can get a 15-minute for free, or you can pay for paid consultation too. And that's basically it. I know we're out of time, so I just want to thank you all for coming. There's not a ton of time left over for questions and answers, but I'm here. I can stay as long as I need. I know you guys budgeted 2 hours for this meeting, but I'm here as long as you guys have questions. That's it. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions you might have. Chris, you there?
I'm here. I'm just putting in the link for the intermediate course.
Okay. Thank you.
We got a request to aulcp.com. You want to do a quick CRO overview or something?
Sure. I got to close some of these. AULCP?
aulcp.com. We also got a request for brewtheblend.com.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this website. Construction Partners, AUL Construction Partners. So here's the first thing to understand about web pages. You have about 5 seconds to answer 3 questions. Number 1, where am I? Number 2, what can I do here? Number 3, why should I do it? So the first thing is, you got that right. The where am I? It's well done. AUL Construction Partners. I'm a little confused about what Richwood means, but it's irrelevant. What can I do here? I can request a quote. And why should I do it? Apparently, because offering unparalleled quality in engineering, design, and fabrication and maintenance for the industrial and commercial construction sectors. Okay, so now the first thing that I notice about this is that this is not enough of why should I do it. Why should I do it means, you know, generally third-party information, meaning, you know, 475-star reviews. Anybody can say they offer unparalleled quality. Anybody can say it. I could literally, I don't know anything about engineering, design, fabrication. I can make a website right now that blows this away and say I'm the world's foremost engineering expert. So because of that, this is a meaningless statement. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, no one's even going to read it. And the reason for that is the visual hierarchy is off. Our eyes go to the biggest thing first, and we read top to bottom, left to right. So since I see this first, I'm not going to read this up here. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to start scrolling. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to start scrolling. So this right here is wasted wording. So what I would do is we are AUL Construction Partner. Well, you said that up here. That doesn't mean anything. So what you want to do is have a headline that actually connects and gets the attention of people. That's the job of a headline. This is the headline. The job of a headline is to get attention, nothing else. I mean, like a newspaper, you know, it's like this. If you look at the Star magazine or some of these, you know, weird, gossip rags, you know, to be like, you know, monkey has baby in space or whatever, and you look and you go, what? And you look down and there's a, you know, picture of a monkey with holding a baby, and you can't help it, like, be drawn in because it got your attention. That's the number one job of a website, that the first thing you have to do is get their attention, because people are in a jaded state searching the internet in most cases, and then draw them in, right? So this would be better as the subheadline. Subheadline goes after the headline. The way you have it now is the subheadline is above the headline, right? But I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say offering unparalleled, because that's what's called a claim. It's an unsubstantiated claim. And if you're at the beginning of a statement, well, imagine that the job of a website is to start a conversation. So imagine you went to a business mixer of people you wanted to, you know, connect with and hopefully do business with, and you walked up to them and you said, I am AUL Construction Partners, and I offer unparalleled quality design, and be like, okay, that's kind of weird, right? It's not a really good way to state your business, right? So you want to rethink what this says. Now, again, you know, you could go back over to a Mech Labs AI, let's say, right? And pull this up here, and it showed you how to create a headline right here. If you say create a headline, you click on this, and it will open it up and use the knowledge of over 10,000 split tests that GPT and none of the other models have any access to. And it will show you how to create a headline, right? That's way more powerful and specific. But we're going to use GPT, and we're going to say, make this the form of headline, then sub-headline. Make it more attention getting, and make the sub-headline second, and build upon the attention that the headline garners, right? So let's see what it says. So I'm going to paste that in there. headline, engineering excellence, precision design, and unmatched craftsmanship all on one roof. That's a way better headline, way better than welcome to, AUL or we are AUL. Like, yeah. So subheadline, AUL construction partners deliver superior quality in engineering, design, fabrication. So I would say the headline's too short, too long. Headline, shorter, too long. Headlines, you don't want a headline to be a book or sentence. You want to just be, there you go. Precision, quality, unmatched expertise, right? Again, it's iteration. We're honing in on this. It's still unsubstantiated claim, right? But if you were to show a review, for example, that says this right here, maybe you have a review from somebody that says, wow, these guys have the best quality and their customer support is unmatched. And you put that on the page right here that reinforces what you're saying, but it's a third party saying it. Now you're getting somewhere. Now you're saying, where am I? What can I do here? Why should I do it? Now, the why should I do it part should be somebody else saying it, not you, because anybody can say they're the best. It doesn't mean anything. So you want to avoid saying you're the best. That's why I like something like this better. So I'm not going to get too much into the page, but what you want to do with the rest of this, this is too much content. A company with a heart. Save that for your about page. That's not the job of the homepage. The job of the homepage is brand establishment, and this is more of an about section here. It's not a good, in my opinion. I don't know enough. Remember, I'm flying blind. I don't know your industry. I would have to do a lot of research to get this really on point. But setting a new industry standard. It's a nice looking website. I like some of the some really cool stuff here. The proof is in our work. I like this here. This is the money right here. Is showing what you actually do with pictures, because some people are visual learners and they're not going to read a damn thing on the web page. They're going to look at the pictures and that's it. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say about that page as far as like the optimization goes. There's no title tag, home AUL. So this is where you want to, I don't know what's your keyword, but if you were say, engineering, let's say engineering, design and fabrication experts near me. Now I can take that, I can turn on my keywords everywhere tool, run the search again, and now I can go over to analyze titles for SERP, use ChatGPT, and then I can say, okay, now what it's doing is analyzing the top 10 companies. And it's going to do a lot of stuff here. And here's showing you the common patterns in the title tags, because the title tags tell you, in a way, why the page is ranking. Why? So now it's saying the recommended title, top engineering, design, and fabrication experts. I wouldn't put near you, but you could if most of your business was just in your city, specializing in services in your location. Otherwise, I would just put this as your title tag, and then specializing and that's it, and then I would put hyphen AUL after that. That's a way better title tag than if you're trying to rank on Google. And then you have no meta description. So the next thing you would do is say, using the same methodology, make an optimized meta description. So there we go. And now it's going to do the same thing. It's going to look at all the meta descriptions on the first page of Google, and it's going to analyze them, and it's going to write you a meta description, and there it is. Okay. So yeah, that's what I would do on that page, is get some of the copy better, optimize it more for search. What was the other one? Brew? What, Chris? Chris, you there?
I'm looking for it in the chat here. If you're still here, could you share that URL again? It's a bit high up there, and I keep getting pulled back down. brewtheblend.com.
Brew the blend, subscribe. Okay. I would change the timing of this pop-up. It's too soon. I don't even know anything about the company, and you're already asking me to subscribe. I would wait till they spend 15, 30 seconds or more on the site before you, because then they've showed some interest, right? You know, and then they might be interested in subscribing. But just to inundate someone with a pop-up right when they come to your website is rude, and it's going to do more harm than good, in my opinion. Well, you might get some signups for it, but I promise if you delay that timing a little bit, you'll get more. But you got to test it. I could be completely wrong. You don't know. It's like I'm sharing with you general knowledge, and it doesn't always apply. But it's good in most cases. So your header's way too big. It's just taking up too much space. I would compress that header. I would put the logo in the left corner to save space and get the search over here, you know, and make that header, you know, like way smaller. I would say a third of the size. Berry brilliance in Tanzania. So I would get rid of the slider. I was just reading something and it changed. That's rude and it causes user frustration. Don't do that. Just keep one static image here. Sliders are old school. They make designers and webs and company owners happy, but they make users unhappy. Don't do that. Otherwise, you have a really cool format here with your beautiful hero shot and nice colors on the website. You have a little 15% off coupon here, which is really cool. Brew the blend, your daily dose of delight. Experience the rich flavors of freshly roasted coffee from finest origin. Sip. Now, there's millions of kinds of coffee. It seems like this doesn't mean anything to me. You need to differentiate yourself. I don't know what's special about this coffee. I assume every coffee has rich flavors and freshly roasted. So what is it about your coffee? If you want to sell more of this coffee, you need a unique selling point. And you give 10% to charity. What does finest origins mean? Maybe expand on that. You know, that's what I would do. Your CTA button here should be a different color than anything else on the page. Black you want it to stand out. You want it to draw the eye. Here's an example of Gestalt psychology, yellow, jelly bean, red. I think this will get us where we need. And then see that right there? Like if you look at this image, the first thing you see is the red jelly bean. You want your CTA button to be the red jelly bean. That's what you want them to do. Chop. You don't want them to go all this other stuff here because then they got to go here and then here. You want them to just start chopping, I'm assuming. And if you do, you want to make this a different color than anything else on the page so that it becomes the red jelly bean in the barrel of yellow. So product of the week, that's cool. I think it's a little too high up on the page. I would put your featured products first. It's debatable. I need to do some research on that, but yeah, I would again, just like AUL, I would work on the headline. Brew the blend. It doesn't mean anything. It just sounds cool. And again, please I don't want to sound arrogant or mean or anything like that. I'm just playing the part of a jaded customer, and with 10 years of experience of conversion optimization. Brew the blend doesn't mean anything. Your daily dose of delight doesn't mean anything. These are just like clever marketing. Also, it doesn't appear that this is text. It's blended. It's embedded into the image, which means that you are probably missing the opportunity for a good H1 tag. But they did get brew the blend. This right here in. So that's okay. If you're doing it like that, that's okay. But I would again focus on what makes your product unique, because in the coffee market, you really have to stand out. There has to be something for your potential customers to connect with. And I think it seems like it's the finest origins, right? Maybe it's fair trade, and then you talk about the fair trade or whatever it is, because you don't want to compete on price, because coffee is a commodity, right? Then you're just a regular commodity like everything else. So you've got some good branding here, great logo, colors. This is too big. This product of the week takes up too much space. on my screen. I can't even see. I have a 27-inch monitor and I can't even see the whole thing, the whole section. Not good, right? And if you look at this on mobile, and it's not working for some reason, I was going to pull it up on mobile, but something with Zoom is, again, another reason I dislike it. Yeah, it's just not coming up for some reason. But anyway, I would work on this headline and your unique selling point, whatever it is. And again, using AI, you could easily do that. Again, I can't stand that up there, this thing here. Let's say GPT, or we'll use DeepSeek. And we'll say, my coffee has the finest origins. I want to sell more of it. Make me an attention-getting headline followed by a supporting sub-headline that compels our website visitors to investigate further and buy our coffee. Let's see what it says. I don't like DeepSeek. I played with it, like all the rage. I get it. It's a game changer if they're using less resources, but yeah, it does that a lot too, but then it did it. So from the world's most precious soil to your cup. It's amazing. That's amazing. That's a headline right there. For me, it's a comparatively. Now, it doesn't mean it's the best headline. I would use the Mech Labs AI to really work it out, because it's going to show you, Mech Labs AI is going to show you why. It's going to come up with different headlines and say, this headline will appeal to these types of customers. This headline will appeal to those types of customers. This headline will, you know what I mean? And it will give you the reasoning behind everything, instead of just coming up with something that has no logic, but is clearly, better than subjectively than what you currently have. How do I get rid of this window? Ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I would do, is work on your unique selling point, and then redo the headline, subheadline, make that header smaller. And then as far as SEO goes, shop coffee and teas. Again, like, you're never going to rank for coffee and tea. And by the way, so you want to try to rank for something you can actually rank for, which is, single origin coffee, or, a longer tail keyword. And again, you can ask AI, like, hey, what's a longer tail, less competitive keyword that we can rank for? And then you want to get that in there. And again, avoid brew the best with brew the blend. There's a billion different coffee. I'm exaggerating, but there's endless coffee companies saying they're the best. So when you say that, all you're doing is like making sure that that you're not the best, that no one ever perceives you as the best. Anybody else, Chris?
No other URLs in the chat yet? No.
Okay. Any questions?
Feel free to unmic yourselves if you do have a question or another website you'd like to share.
Ask for me.
How do you use ChatGPT in essays?
Essays?
Academic essay.
On an academic essay for college or university?
That's a really good question. And it's, in the book, the two AI books that I've read, they talk about that, because they were both written by college professors. In one case, the college professor did a test, and he told the students they weren't allowed to use AI at all. And then in another test, he told them that they were required to use AI. And what he found was they absolutely did a better job when they used, there was one more. he didn't tell them at all whether they could use AI or not. And what happened was when he told them not to use AI, he got a lot of subpar work. When he told them to use AI, he got the best work. And when he didn't give them any direction, what he found was a large majority of people actually copied verbatim the essays, the content for their essays right out of AI. And in that case, what the AI was doing in some cases was copying, like literally like plagiarizing content. And so I've never created an essay for college, but my advice to you would be to be very careful. If you use it, I would just go to GPT and say, hey, I'm writing an essay for school. And I don't want it to, I want you to help me write it, but I don't want you to write the whole thing. And then let it guide you through the process. Just give it information. I
realized I recently read something in a newsletter that they're developing a site specifically for academic research that's going to be largely focused on citations and fact checking. And that was inspired because Deep Search was doing a better job with that, so they're trying to outdo that. I believe there's also one in the works right now. It's like Jenny.ai. I'll put the link in the chat. That's more for academic research than for general text creation there.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard of Jenny. I haven't played with it yet. Yes, but my perspective is from a business owner and a team member. So I don't have any experience writing essays other than what I've read about it in the books I mentioned. Anything else? Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate staying a little extra. I hope you found this useful. Please check out robertportillo.com and go to the resources page. You'll see it in the menu. I'm going to send out an email to everybody in the next 24 hours with the resources. So you have that handy. There will be a replay up in case you missed anything. And I encourage you to sign up for my intermediate course. And of course, if any of you are business owners out there, feel free to reach out. It's always free. I'll give you, 15 minutes of time to talk about how to maybe, help your business with AI or any other way that I can help. I'm happy to do so. Okay. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.